Hi guys, Crochet and Connect here. I'm coming to you today with my crafty goals review of 2018 and my crafty goals that I want to accomplish in 2019. And before I get to my goals, I'll have a little announcement to make because that will relate to some of my 2019 goals actually. And I also have an item I received for Christmas that's crochet related that I will show at the end. So I guess I will start off with my announcement. My husband and I are currently expecting baby number 2. So this will actually probably be one of the last, if not the last, video from my yarn room, because of course we will have to turn this room into another bedroom. So we've already started moving stuff out of this room already. We already cleaned out the closet in here. And moved my little craft bookshelf into my bedroom, and I'm going to be moving the yarn soon. It's going to have to just go into bins and go into the basement or something because I have nowhere else to put it. We live in a really small house. And I do have a bunch of bins, but they are currently in my daughter's room full of baby clothes she has outgrown, and I'm just waiting to find out what we're having. We're due in May. And I'm having my 20-week ultrasound in a couple of weeks, and that's around the time they can tell what it is. And so if it's another girl, then those clothes will come into this room, and then I'll use the bins for the yarn. And if it's a boy, then we'll get rid of those clothes because I don't think we're going to have a third. Probably not. I think 2 is good. I don't know, and there's just like many reasons. We probably won't go into a third. I don't know. We're not quite sure, but probably not. But yeah, we'll probably, if it's not a girl, we'll probably get rid of all the baby girl clothes we have. And then I'll use those bins for this yarn. And yeah, so that is the current plan for this room. We're not sure exactly when we're gonna actually start moving the big things out, the bookshelves that are in front of me and stuff. My in-laws already have a big girl bed for my daughter, and so whenever they bring it up, I guess we'll move the crib into this room. I don't know when that's gonna be, but probably soon. So this may possibly be the last video I have with a yarny background. And with my luck, I very likely won't have a yarn room again until one of my kids moves out. Because we currently rent. We're not sure when we're going to be able to afford to buy. And if we ever do buy, we probably will not be able to afford a house with more than 3 bedrooms. So the only way I will have a yarn room is if we're lucky enough to maybe find a house that has a finished basement that's divided into several rooms maybe, and I can use one of the smaller ones for a yarn room. But yeah, so I probably won't have a craft room again until I'm an empty nester, or an almost empty nester. But that's okay, it's totally worth it. Especially for me and my husband. I'm not going into too many details, but we have had a lot of trouble in this area, and there was actually one point when we didn't think we would ever have even one child. So now that we're having a second one, it is extremely exciting. So yeah, so that is the news, and those are the yarn room plans upcoming. I don't know exactly when it's going to happen, but probably soon. So that leads into my crafty goals. I'll start with the 2018 projects. I actually wrote them down earlier in the year, the things that I wanted to try to get to this year. I knew I probably wouldn't get to all of them, but so I'll just go down the list here. They're in no particular order, but I'll go down the list and discuss whether I finished them or not. Obviously, if I finished them, I would have done a video about them, but we'll go over them. So the first thing I have here is the Advent calendar, which I obviously finished. I did several videos on it as I progressed, and I did show the completed Advent calendar just a few months ago. I think I completed it the end of August, beginning September sometime, and I had a video on that, so that was done. The dress I made for my daughter, completed. I also did a video on that. I don't think it fits her anymore. She grew out of it quite quickly, but that was to be expected. The wedding afghan I was making for my friend, I kind of just put off and haven't really done any work on it recently. I will need to get a move on that because my friend just got married last month. So that is nowhere near complete. It has 20 motifs, I think. Well, 20 big circular motifs, and I think like another like 12 or 15 or something square motifs in between those, and I only have 2 circular motifs done. So I'm gonna have to get a huge move on that. Mario rug. I was going to make a rug in the shape of a mushroom from the Super Mario video games and put it in the basement. I never got around to that. It was going to be like an 8-bit made out of granny squares mushroom. We're going to have to, these bookshelves that are in front of me right now where my camera is, are going to be moving down to the basement, so I don't know if I'm even going to have room in the basement anymore for the rug where I was planning to put it, so that I might have to scrap. So, asterisk on that one. I don't know, we'll see. Bowling set, I completed. My last video, I showed the complete bowling set. Dish soap dress. I have a couple of patterns for these cotton little dresses that you hang over your dish soap bottle, and I think you can also use them as dishcloths as well. And I was going to make at least one year-round one, and I was thinking of also making a Christmas one, and I never got to any of those. Trick-or-treat bag. I was going to try to make my daughter a trick-or-treat bag, but I never got around to it, and she didn't really need it anyways because she has a little plastic pumpkin bucket thing for trick-or-treating, and that'll do for at least the next couple of years because she's still going to be really little. I'm not going to go very far and collect very much candy, so the trick-or-treat bag can wait for a long while. And Halloween ornaments, I did complete. I had videos on those. Sweater, I was going to make my daughter a sweater to wear this winter and then save it for the next baby because I knew in September-ish. But I never got around to that either. I was also going to make her a pigtail hat. You might have seen the messy bun hats that some people have been making, or the ponytail hats. They have a hole in the top so you can stick your hair out of it. I have seen some for children that have holes on the sides for pigtails. So I was going to try to make one of those. Never got around to it, but she has so many winter hats anyways. She doesn't really need it. I can wait for another year or two. Mermaid tail afghan. I have a pattern for one I was going to start, but I never got around to that either. And I have a few skeins of yarn that I was going to use, but I only have 5 of them. They are a discontinued red heart, the purpley variegated down there. And after I picked out those yarns, I noticed that the pattern was actually for Bernat blanket yarn, which is a lot bigger and thicker, and so those 5 little skeins of red heart will not be enough for that blanket, so now I have to find some other yarn to use for that if I ever make it. So I don't know when I'm going to get around to that. The gray shawl that I bought the yarn for, that I showed recently, I think maybe a couple of months ago. I finished buying all the yarn for it, but I have not started knitting it yet because I was really in the mood to try to knit something, and then I just never got to it. But I'm going to try to get to it next year. And Christmas ornaments. I was going to try to make ornaments for my front window for Christmas, the same like I made for Halloween, but I never got around to that. So yeah, and that was my 2018 list. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 items on the list. And I completed 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, well, at least I completed something, which is more than I can say for previous years. So, my 2019 projects, I would like to, I have to finish the wedding afghan for my friend, and I would like to complete that before the baby comes, or else it's never going to get done. And I definitely want to do my shawl. I don't know if I'm going to get around to it this year, but I want to try. And what else? I think that is it from the 2018 list that I want to carry over to 2019. for sure. The wedding afghan and my shawl. Also, I mentioned a few videos ago that I was planning to make my daughter a Molly doll from Big Comfy Couch. I never even started that. So I want to try to maybe get that done for her for Easter, because her birthday's in a couple of weeks. It's not going to happen for her birthday. So maybe for Easter. She doesn't really watch very much Big Comfy Couch, so it doesn't need to get done anytime soon. It's not something that she would be like really excited about, but I'm pretty sure she would like it. But so I'm going to try to get it done for Easter. If that doesn't happen, then next Christmas. We'll see. So that's 3 items for 2019. And then, of course, for the baby, I would like to make a stacking toy. I made my daughter one just before she was born. There were videos on that. And earlier this year, I bought a Crochet World magazine that had an alien stacking toy. It was an alien, and then there were rings that went over it that made it look like a flying saucer. And I said if I ever had another child, I wanted to make that, so I will need that. I will try to get around to that. And I will need to make this child a Christmas stocking before next Christmas. So yeah, and then I don't know if I'm going to be able to get anything else done for this baby, because that's a lot of things I want to get done, and I have a toddler to take care of. And there were some Christmas items I wanted to try to get to for 2019, but I'm not sure if I will. There was that plush mouse holding the whisk that I showed a few videos back, which I bought the whisk for, but I haven't got started on that. So I want to try to get that done either for 2019 or 2020. And I have always wanted to make a Christmas tissue box cover. So that's another thing I want to make for Christmas. And I still want to try to get the Christmas ornaments for my window done next year. I don't know if that's going to happen. So yeah, so wedding afghan, shawl, Molly doll, Christmas ornaments, Christmas mouse, Christmas tissue box cover, stacking toy for the baby, and stocking for the baby. 8 items. I don't know if that's going to happen. But we will come back next year and see what I have accomplished. So yeah. So those are my crafty goals. I also recently decided I wanted to make a cover for my stand mixer in my kitchen. That's probably not going to happen this year. But I do have a fun pattern for a stand mixer cover that looks like a strawberry cake, I think. It looks really cute. So I eventually want to make that sometime, probably not 2019, but eventually. I just thought I'd mention that. And so the last thing I have to mention in this video, for Christmas, my husband bought me a Winnie the Pooh crochet kit. I do have several other kits I have shown in videos in previous years that I still have not made anything from because I have been so busy with other things. I was going to make a lot of things from them and decorate my craft room with them, but that's not going to happen now. But I'll probably just make several things from each of them for my kids to play with eventually at some point. So this is the Winnie the Pooh one. They do sell these on Amazon. My husband got this from our local Chapters bookstore, which is the Canadian equivalent of like Barnes & Noble. I don't know if Barnes & Noble carries these. They probably do. But Amazon definitely has them. This one is $19.99 US, $24.99 Canadian. So this is the Winnie the Pooh one. There are so many now. I have the Marvel one, one of the Star Wars ones, because there's one with original Star Wars characters from the original trilogy, and then there's a one with newer ones like BB-8 and stuff from the newer movies that are coming out now. I have the original Star Wars one. I have the Peanuts one, and I have the classic Disney one, which has like Mickey, Minnie, Pluto, those kind of Disney characters. Other ones that exist that I know of, that I can think of right now, there is a Rudolph one from the classic Rudolph Christmas special. There is a Wizard of Oz one. There's a Frozen one. I feel like there's a few more that I'm not thinking of right now. But if you go to Amazon and just type in like crochet kits, you'll see them all. Yeah. So, yeah, so that was one of my many Christmas gifts, but this is the only crochet related one, so I thought I would show that. So yeah. So I think that's all I have to talk about in this video. So this is the last video of 2018. I can't believe 2018 is over. But yeah, so I hope everybody has a good New Year's, and I hope everybody has a lovely 2019. Happy crafting and Happy New Year.